Hey, Overpass Live. My name is Eric and I make apps. Okay, so last week we didn't do a live stream and it kind of feels strange. I actually feel nervous getting into this live stream. I think because it's been a while and just getting back into the swing of things. I started thinking, what are we going to talk about today? I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but then again, I don't know what we're going to talk about any day. And to be honest with you, this week has been kind of hectic with loads of meetings and there's a few Christmas parties I went to, so I haven't done a lot in terms of development. In fact, the development that I've done has been mostly in Ionic V1. Well, a little bit of Ionic V2 also, but so just some Ionic work, just some existing projects. And I haven't really done anything with Flutter or anything in the last week or anything like that. So, but I'm glad you guys are all here. True Dreams, how's it going? Hey Billy, how are you? Rifat, how are you? Rifat, I want to ask you about, earlier today you posted a link about a mind hack video. Can you let me know what that is? Because it was I'd be really interested to. I was trying to look at it. I googled mind hack and I looked at mind hack on premium and I couldn't find it. So that would be cool. Billy says, "Sup, man? Sup?" C89HD says, "Hola." Oh, sorry, hola. C89HD is obviously a Star Wars robot. Liron Reutman says, "Happy Friday." Yes, it's Friday. Hussein Gokas, Eric, missed you guys too. I really did. It was kind of strange. I thought, well, I talked about this. Azimuth, hey, how's it going? Chord Funk, yo, Chord Funk. So Chord Funk, I have a video coming out. I think tomorrow. I think it's a Saturday's video where you asked me about the keyboard shortcuts, and I did a video on that. So thanks, Maximilian. I love this dude. Love you too, Max. Thanks. Good. Sup. Let's see. Rahul. When will it start? Sorry, it's always. I try to start it a couple minutes early so you guys get the song and everything. So let's Wi-Fi blocker. You, Eric. Hey, all. Rifat says, let's add each other to a LinkedIn if there's a group. I have a Facebook group, and we really don't do enough to promote it, but maybe a LinkedIn group would be good. I've never been a fan of LinkedIn, and it seems like LinkedIn over the past 5 years has come into its own a little bit more, where it used to be like LinkedIn was a place where everybody would put their CVs and everyone's wearing a tie, and whereas Facebook would be the fun place, LinkedIn was a place where everybody looks all serious, and but now it's starting to get a bit more playful and fun over on LinkedIn. However, every time I accept a request on LinkedIn, not a friend request, a contact request, I'm immediately hit with spam and hey, you're obviously interested in whatever it is I'm selling. I didn't even look. So, but I mean, enough about LinkedIn. So, let's see. Let's see. Eric, a review on the book will be great. So yes, I haven't. I was reading it last week. I definitely need to do it. I actually really like the book. We're talking about the book Crossing the Chasm, or Chasm, however it's pronounced. So that'd be cool. Let's see, add it on LinkedIn. Data plus code. Hey, how's it going? True Dreams ask, Eric, you don't reply on Skype. Why? I'm not always on Skype, True Dreams. I've got so much on Skype, and Skype, we have a few projects where I have to check on them, but other times it's like a real distraction. Sometimes it's difficult with, I try, and maybe it's just my age here, I try not to get too involved in WhatsApp groups, like WhatsApp groups or Skype, because once I allow somebody on Skype, it's like every little question. I mean, there was somebody I asked for my Skype address a while ago, and I said, yeah, sure. And then it was like every time he had any kind of code question, it came to me. Anything. What does this error mean? What is this? I mean, I was like, rather than go to Google, they were coming to me, and I had to just say, look, I'm sorry, I'm really very busy, and I can't answer all these kind of questions. It really is, some of these things you have to figure out on your own, and so it's hard to do that. So, oh, Mindfield. I think I was looking at Mind Hacks. So Mindfield, thanks for that, Rifat. So yeah, so Skype, I mean, a lot of times people ask for my Skype address or my email address, and I don't mind doing it, but there's certain times where I just can't, like the amount of questions that come in. So that's what the live stream is for. The live stream is so that we can all get together and we can discuss these things and ask these kind of questions. If anybody says, I want you to look specifically at my app, specifically at my problem, specifically at my my code error or whatever, then that would be something that, I mean, that's why we set up the consultancy link, which I think we've only had a couple people who actually want to pay for my time, which is fine, which is why it's there, right? That's why we have the live stream, because I don't feel right. I mean, I don't mind charging out my time because I do that as a professional anyway, but it's still kind of, you know, if it's just a quick question, I don't really want to do that. But if we answer if we answer on the live stream, then everybody benefits, even if it's something that you just so the live stream is free, the consultancy is paid for. So that's kind of the reason why I don't do that. And the Skype is just, there's so many Skype messages that I have not answered, and that's why. Let's see. Sorry about that. I think I'm getting a little sore throat. We have a message here from Liran Reutman. Says, any idea why my new app is not kicking? Let's have a look at it. So we go over here. I'm going to share my screen. So this is the first. Let's have a look at Liran's app, and you guys could do that and have a look at some, and then we'll go down the rest of these questions. One of these days, I'm going to get a moderator to help with these. So I'm sorry if a lot of times when I answer the question, it's like a few minutes after you ask it, or I'm not able to see the replies and everything because it's just me here. So, all right, so let's have a look at my screen over here. So this is the app for Liran Reutman, which is called Foods Ready, Come to Eat. Liran, is this it? Just to make sure, because sometimes I don't get the link properly. Let's see. So Liran's asking any idea why my app is not kicking. So let's have a look. Foods Ready, Come to Eat. Okay, it's a good title. You've got 3 stars. So you've got, let's have a look at the reviews here. Okay, so no reviews, but you got the titles. You've got a really nice consistent look, but you got create, enjoy, and creativity. So let's see. Let's have a look at the screenshots here. Foods Ready, Come to Eat. So this is one thing that I've noticed people do. Like, I've done this in the past too. You have like a really nice splash screen, so you add that as one of your screenshots. And I don't really think it qualifies as a screenshot. Well, kind of just. Actually, you know, all right. Let me take that back. I like how you have that little shade going across the screenshots. I can see you have a little bit more there. So, say, come to eat. Sorry, why am I not doing this? Okay, so come to eat. Create and join to a food group. Creativity, create your own food group. Simple, invite everyone to the table with a click. And we've only got a few screenshots here. So be the first one to know when food's ready with the Foods Ready app. The app calls everyone to the table. Geez, we need this. This is actually a good idea, Liran. Allowing the person who makes the food to be in ease. No. So here's what it is, Liran, in my house. When I have to cook, which is a few days a week, and I'm a terrible cook, and then finally when everything's done, I'm shouting up the stairs, I'm calling everybody in, but everybody has headphones on, so nobody comes, or it's like, just a minute, right? So why is it not clicking? I think part of it might be, okay, so let's look at it from, is there a need? So we got Reutman apps. How are your other apps doing? I see this consistency in design on that one and this one. Let's see. So you have in-app purchases, food and drink, Foods Ready, Come to Eat, whatever. Now I would think, now this, we've talked before about whether or not you could put like a stock image in some of your screenshots, because that could be something that you could do. Right now you're showing the app inside a phone, which is good because that's what a lot of people do. And I like this design. We got the Foods Ready, Come to Eat, but it doesn't really say, and it has create and join, creativity. See, create and join is like the registration page, which I think is probably the least interesting of all the functionality of the application. So if we were going to talk about what the application is, if I have this right, Liran, the app is for families that are really busy. Everybody's on their headphones. Everybody's got their headphones on. Nobody's coming to the table, and you got a really stressed out person there just cooking. And what you need to do is have something where you just push the button and say everybody gets notified that dinner's ready, right? So it'll be, you know, even me, like I get notified sometimes. I'll be in the office and I'll be like, how much more time do I have? Because I got to finish off this project and get the call. So you could have something where you have a like a stock image of a family sitting at a table or kids on the computer or something like that, so somebody can relate to them. But it all goes back. Well, first we have to look at we have to look at the acquisition flow, the process flow. So the first thing is, are people landing on this page to begin with? Because we're talking about screenshots and they're not even getting to this page, and it's a moot point. But I came to this page because you sent me the link, but not everybody's going to hit the link unless you do advertising. So the first thing would be the keywords. The food's ready, come to eat. This is something where I didn't even know it existed, so I wouldn't be searching for it. So it would be, how do you get it in front of people who are not necessarily searching for it, but they're kind of they're doing that. So something for chefs, something for cooks, something for moms, something for dads, or whatever it is. So if that makes any sense. So think about how you're gonna get it in front of people, especially if they're not looking for it, unless they are. So let's see. Dinner alert is a thing I would do. Fitness meal reminder. Lunch alert, meal reminder, dinner bell. Okay. Move back and forth. Oh, this look. Okay, so this is not the same kind of thing. This looks kind of dumb. So, but that kind of thing. So a dinner bell it could be a keyword that you go for, though, actually, because that's kind of what it is, isn't it? It's a dinner bell bringing people to the table. And we go through and we start looking at some of these other keywords, thinking, how will people find what they're doing? And will people even be looking for a dinner bell app or something to alert their kids, whatever? And there could be. There's so many people looking for apps out there. And I assume you'd have something like push notifications that just alerts everybody that it's up and running. So those are my ideas. Does anybody have anything else to talk about Liron's app here? Wi-Fi blocker says food ready, pictures before, i.e. just cook at dinner before your app, and all family will be at the table. The screenshots are good, but looking at the app, I wasn't sure what it was supposed to be doing, Data Plus Code says, but the idea once explained seems really good. Yeah, that's exactly the same as me. I'm thinking, because I looked at it and I thought, I'm not really sure what it does, but you got the bell there and you got the thing, and I just wasn't sure, and I'm thinking, yeah, it is a really good idea. Let's see. A Wi-Fi blocker says, I need foods ready. Kids always on Fortnite at dinner time. It's Fortnite. That's what it is. Exactly for me too, Wi-Fi blocker. They'll get results with my app, Wi-Fi blocker. Just block their Wi-Fi and they hate me. Ooh, that's some gangster stuff. Okay, there's been a time in the past, not recently, but a couple years ago, where I turned the power off in the house. I just went like nobody's all stressed out, and nobody was coming to the table, nobody was doing anything. So I went to I had the breaker boards or whatever in the kitchen, conveniently. So I just went. Of course, I had to like reset the clocks and everything too. But yeah, blocking the Wi-Fi, that'll do it too. Let's see. So anyway, Liron, I hope that's been helpful a little bit. Everybody else, if you have anything else, I think it's a pretty good idea. I think it's a simple, brilliant idea. But if we were like, say, if we went to it was Unsplash or something, Unsplash or any of the other stock image photos, Google Splash, and we look like, and we do a search for, say, dinner. No, these all look too nice. No, I think it's, yeah. These ones look too nice for that kind of thing. If you're a chef, that's good. But if you're just like, if you're like me and you're just totally stressed out because nobody's doing anything, nobody's coming to the table, then I think that's a really good idea. So let's have a look. Manly Celicort says, Overpass Apps, why don't developers come up with ideas and code their own Instagram, Tinder, Tokis, etc. business apps that would make them living income instead of coding 9 to 5 for a company? Well, it's a good question, and it's really how difficult it is to find something that hits. I mean, when you think about it, you work 9 to 5 for a company, and if you're doing an app and that company is an app company, they're hoping that they could do the marketing and get that app in front of people, and they can make enough money not only to survive off the app like indie developers do, but also to pay all their staff. Right? And it's not so much that developers are lacking in ideas, because a lot of developers have ideas. I mean, everybody has an idea. It's just whether or not they can afford to dedicate the time to do that. Because you're thinking, if you, so let's say you have, you know how to code, and you have two options. I can either spend the next month or 6 weeks or year or 2 years or whatever, and I could build this app which might work, and somehow find a way to pay the bills and do whatever I have to do so that we can, so that everybody can still survive because of a family, all that kind of stuff. Or I could go to work 9 to 5 at this place. I'll get better as a developer. I won't be doing my own thing, because once I get that, I'm selling my time for money, and it's a finite resource, so there's only so much time I can sell, but it's also guaranteed income that way. So the app, you may not be guaranteed income. So I mean, it's a really good idea, but I mean, a lot of people are doing that. So C89HD says, I love your live, Eric. Thanks. I'm glad you're here. Thanks. C89HD, are you a robot? Because you have a cool robot name. I know I'm gonna stop making that joke. True Dream says, have you ever got featured on Google Play Store? I think you've asked me that. I think that was the one I saw on Skype. Yeah. So no, I have never been featured on Google Play Store that I know of. But back in the day when it was the +1, when you could +1 something, if you +1 something, then the people who were your friends on Google Plus, this is back in the Google Plus days, they would see that saying somebody you know. They would recommend based on the people you know, so you would get featured on there too. But I don't think any of my apps have ever been featured, right? So, but they have been. So, I have been in the top ranks. So, like, my app was a number 8 medical app in the UK for a long time, and it was like the number 1 medical app in Thailand for a long time, and then I moved it out of the medical category. And that really helped. But that was the only way I got to those rankings, was because I had the downloads. That was the chicken and egg thing. It was you just don't get onto those lists. You have to actually get enough downloads. In order to get those downloads, you need to be on the list, and it's just that chicken and egg kind of stuff. That's how people find you. So, but no, I haven't actually. I don't think I've ever been featured on that or on Apple. So Rahul Singh says, Eric, any advice on finding early clients as I'm in the process of building my ASO tool? Yeah, you know what? If you're building your ASO tool and you're looking specifically for developers, that's a really good niche market. And what I would do for that one is use Facebook. I would use Facebook marketing for that one, because then you could see who specifically are app developers, who follows pages like Android Authority, who's a fan of this, who talks about this in their things, and Facebook is really good for those tight niches. So, and for an ASO tool, you have one specific demographic, which are developers, probably indie developers, depending on the pricing of your tool. And there's quite a few ASO tools out there. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was telling you guys how I was meeting with somebody from thetool.io. So they were giving me a demo of the tool, and I did get a demo of that, and it was really a cush thing, because like I was gonna do a video about this, but I thought, I don't know if I do, because maybe it'll turn out that I like the tool, but so far I haven't really got a lot of benefit out of it. But they're giving me like a year's worth of their top premium thing, which is worth thousands of dollars, thousands of pounds, right? Which is already, for indie developers, it prices them out of the market. But also, when I'm trying it out, I haven't seen the benefits on the one app I was testing it with. So I'm kind of tweaking those a little bit. But they gave me like a really cush kind of affiliate link thing where I get like 20% or 30% of everybody's subscriptions for the first year. So like if I could just like endorse them on one of the videos and say what a great tool this is, then I can make loads of money from it. But the thing is, I don't think I haven't really got a lot of benefit out of it. So it was like these things that I was hoping I would. I thought that would be awesome. Then I would get a bit of revenue from the YouTube channel. You guys would be all happy. Everybody would be happy. But so far, I have not seen that. And it's the same with Sensor Tower hasn't contacted me, but Mobile Action I have, and I just haven't really seen the benefit. I think those tools are expensive, and they don't really give you the benefits that you should. Maybe if you use them every day. But like it'd be nice if they were a bit more clear on how to do them. Like they'll say, here's how you look for keywords, here's your competitors' keywords, here's this. But they say, okay, specifically, what do I do? What do I search? All this kind of stuff, and they can't answer you. And I was asking questions like, so where does this traffic data come from? I don't know. It was like all these questions with the salesperson, and in the end, I didn't really do that. So that was one of those things where I thought, I can't talk about something and say I endorse it, or oh, you should use Fiverr. Like Fiverr is something too, where people tell me how great Fiverr is, and then when you ask them about it, it turns out they've never really used Fiverr, maybe once, or they've heard about Fiverr, or it's like a popular thing to talk about Fiverr. But every time I've actually used Fiverr, I haven't had really good experiences. So, but that's just me, and I know other people have, and I think that's important. And this is one of the reasons why, like, I'm really reluctant to put affiliate links on the channel, but we're going to, and that's something that's on the to-do list. We only recently got the t-shirts put onto the channel by moving everything from Spreadshirt over to Teespring, which everybody seems to be using. And almost immediately I got a comment from somebody saying, you said you don't sell anything, and now you're trying to sell us these t-shirts. So I removed the promo video for the channel just because of that. And it wasn't like it was, I do the videos because I like talking to you guys, and it's but it would be nice if we could have another revenue stream there, but not at the expense of making you guys buy rubbish tools. So anyway, so Rahul, the reason I was talking about the ASO tool was there's a need for better ASO tools out there, and not just ASO tools like saying you put in a keyword and you see keyword, you get other keywords, like just specifically like say put it here, measure it here, week to week, check on it, maybe send you a message saying you changed these a week ago, check the stats now, see how it looks, right? Because you make these changes and you forget you've done them. C89HD says, what do you prefer, Eric, Firebase or MySQL? Both. It depends on what you're doing. Firebase is nice because it's cloud-based and it's all over the place, and you don't have to worry. Like MySQL could be hosted on a specific server, and you're going to get latency in terms of network jumps depending on where you are, unless you have, depending on how you set it up, really. You can have mirroring and all this stuff. But MySQL and an SQL database just in general is much better for reporting, in my opinion, right? One of the things I hate about using a NoSQL database like Firebase or like Mongo or whatever is that it's just hard to query things. SQL is like a really good language for querying things. You can write all the reports you want to and make the reports, but sometimes you just want to go to a SQL command prompt and just type in the command and just find out. I just want to find stuff out. So like we did an app for a client, and it was something simple where we had all these reports in it, but we didn't have one to say users by country or something like that. And it was like, if it was SQL, I would just be able to go in and run it, but because it was Firebase, I had to do the whole get them out and just do this whole nested loop thing, and it wasn't great. So it really depends on the type of data. The nice thing about NoSQL is it's flexible. So if you wanted to add another parameter, you could without breaking the whole thing. If you try to do that in SQL, it gets really complicated. A lot of times, I've worked in projects where they had SQL tables and they had a bunch of extra fields just in case they needed to add some new functionality later. They didn't want to write all these alter statements and things like that, or break something in one thing, and you got different schemas and different play things. And in NoSQL, you don't really have that. You can say an example would be, let's say you are writing a CRM and you want users to be able to add their own fields to the CRM, so they would be their own, like say its name, phone number, whatever, but you want to say favorite color, so you could add that. And because it's a document, it's not like a table where you have to add extra fields and stuff. I mean, there's ways to do it, but it slows down the database if you do it the other way. Cord Funk, watching on mobile today. How is that, by the way? Let's see. Irfan says also, hey, please also review my app. So this is Irfan Senner's app. I hope I pronounced that right, Irfan. Let's have a look over here. And this app is called, I'm gonna have to make sure I get this right, because there was one time a few weeks ago where I looked at the wrong app. Insful big profile photo picture. Okay, so let me just check. Oh, you've got a lot of reviews. Let's see. Is this the one? Just let me know, Irfan. Are you still here? Is this the one you're looking for? So it's called Insful Big Profile Photo Picture. You've got quite a lot of reviews on here, which is good. Let's see. So you got a lot of reviews. You got a video. Please, all right, I'm gonna start the video, but please tell me it's not strumming guitar music. I hate the dun 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 dun. So let's go. Oh, there's no music, no audio. Come on, man. Earphone, let's get some audio on this. Although, I mean, you seem to be doing pretty well. How many downloads have you had? So, oh, you forget. Oh, well, you got. For some reason, it's showing me at the top here. It's showing all the negative ones, but you have a lot of really good ones. Let's go back through. Yeah, you've got a lot of reviews. And a lot of bad ones. A few bad ones. Every update is getting worse. So it looks, I mean, it looks good to me. You guys can see this, right? Okay, let's see. 500,000 downloads. I mean, 500,000 installs. It looks really good. Permissions, view details. So it looks cool to me. I like the you got the nice coloring schemes here. Earphone, it looks good to me. I mean, how's it doing? I mean, it doesn't look like you have that much trouble. I mean, I would have thought, just looking at it, I would have thought that the that this Insful looks like some sort of programming code, and that one had done very well. But obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about because it seems to be doing pretty well. And I'm wondering if this using all lowercase here, is that intentional? Is that something that works? Is that something that works for you? Does it make the app stand out more? I mean, be interested to see what you where you've done that. So True Dreams asks if I've changed the live stream timings. No, it's still 5 p.m., but we had daylight savings time, so that's probably why it might be at a different times. Let's see. Kligon. Oh, let's go. Let's go to Kligon Braganza says, "Hi Eric, have you used affiliate marketing in your apps? Do you think it's a good business model?" Now I've looked into this, and one of the reasons why I haven't. So I tried to use affiliate links with AdMob house ads in the past, and I think one of the reasons why I haven't. One of the reasons why I haven't is because I would just use the affiliate links directly from AdMob, and sometimes those ads would get banned because whatever the affiliates I was using was not, I don't know what it was, and it also needs to plant the cookie. It needs to plant the cookie based on the device. So if it goes straight within the a web view within the app itself, that's not really good. You want it to open up in an external browser like Chrome on Android or Safari. So then that way you could still get those links, whatever. But really what you should be doing is sending them to a landing page anyway. So if they click on something, they go to your landing page, maybe you can get their email address. I'm saying this as if I've done it. I have not, but I've read a lot about it. I've read a lot about it. So I mean, from what I've read, it's better to send them to a landing page where you can get their username, their email address, and then send them to the affiliate link from there, because then you could plant a cookie and keep retargeting them. Either through a Facebook pixel or the Google remarketing tag, and then you could also, if you have the email address, you can email market to them and all that kind of stuff too. But ultimately, it's the affiliate link that goes through. Let's see. Oh, Wi-Fi Blocker says for just a chef at the table for that other one. That would have been good too. Although maybe not a chef. See, I think it would be good for families. I just think it's because a chef doesn't have trouble getting people to the table. Venosaurus says, almost completed my app. Need to make an icon and apply billing too. Can't wait to show it. Yeah, no, that would be cool. That would be awesome, Venosaurus. Let's see. Sid Hearth. Hey, Eric. Last time I chatted with you, my app had less than 1,000 downloads. It was growing rapidly, but after I hit 50,000 mark, downloads are inconsistent and very low. App name Social. So let's have a look. Social. All right, I'm assuming we're looking at Google Play. If you want me to look at an iOS app, just let me know. So let's go screen share. Social. Okay, so if I look at social, I don't get it up. I don't get it here. Sidharth, which one is it over here? Oh wait, let's go back to. Sorry, I just scrolled down. I see Irfan says the last update is firing you. So all those bad reviews are because Instagram changed their API. That sucks. Yeah, you need to get something. You need to get a new app out there if you haven't already. I hope it's something you can fix. No, it's number 1. So yours is Sidharth, is this your app here? Social. So you were getting loads of downloads. Ooh, I like the graphics here. Recharge, shopping, games, travel apps, news. All in one. Oh, sorry, all in one social media pro. That's why it came up first. Let's see. Go use amazing app for the youth who's been. Please add WhatsApp and other social media links. So you've got good reviews here, which is great. I mean, you got better reviews than I get on my applications. Let's see. We've got 50,000 plus downloads, which is great. The last updated 12th of December, which was 2 days ago. Cool. You've got your Google Play developer page set up, which is not related to the app at all. I just thought I'd check it out because I don't see that too often. And let's have a look. So all-in-one social media pro, Social. Your app contains Social is developed to save your phone storage and time. It consists of all the major apps for your social, blah, 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 blah. The app is 4 megabytes. You're making a big deal about how small the application is, and I'm not sure if that's something that really, is that something that you want to be one of your biggest features, is that how small the application is? Even the second screenshot over here I noticed was the small size, and I'm wondering if that's really the big thing. I would imagine for me that having something like Social or an app that takes all your social media into one place is not necessarily to have a small size app, unless that's like a real issue for you, but mainly because I don't want to check multiple things and have everything in one place. But I mean, that depends on what it does. I'm gonna play the video, and I want to find out if it has strumming guitar music, which seems to be common in app videos. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Actually, I like it. Oh, this is a really good video. I am sharing my screen right. Okay. I like it. I think the video is very punchy. I think I think it looks really good. So if you had the users, and then all of a sudden you're not getting the download numbers that you did, maybe because you're in that nice area where you have users already, maybe you could start to reward them somehow by giving them the Firebase links and getting them to invite friends of theirs to use the application too. So and even and yeah, I mean, if size is the issue, then that would be. I'm trying to think, how would you do it size? I mean, how would you get somebody in where their phone size is too small, or they don't have they're tired of running out of disk space or something like that. But I think that looks really good. So, I mean, anybody else have anything to add on this one? Let me go back to where I was. Let's see. Which are Vinosaurus, Liran, Sidharth. So Rahul changed colors and it's all green. Food apps use red and yellow are primary colors. Cool. So Wi-Fi blocker says power off. Awesome. Need an app for that. Power LG daughter room. Oh, you're talking about the switching the power off. Yeah, that was a bit extreme. That was one of those ones where I was just, you know, when you lose it. Flighter 1990s here. Hey, how's it going? Let's see. Rahul Singh says, hey, Eric, can you give your expert advice on my Play Store app? It would also be useful for me. So I do not have expert advice, but we will have a look. We are all just developers, and if I was an expert, then that would be one thing. But we all have various levels of experience. So let's have a look. So share my screen. So this is Rahul Singh's app, which is called AppSense VR Girlfriend. VR Girlfriend, and it looks like a model here. VR Girlfriend for ages 18 and older might be inappropriate for some. Discretion is advised before downloading. Virtual girlfriend, fun and sexy girlfriend simulation where you can have fun with the company of dancing girlfriend. Virtual girlfriend technology on VR. Use Google Cardboard. Hip hop dance. Cool idea. I mean, can you change the girlfriend, or is it? God, is it? This is nice, Rahul. Let's see. Virtual girlfriend, VR girlfriend. AppSense. I think AppSense doesn't really. Is that the name you came up with? Because I'm not quite sure how that fits. Oh, but that's the name of your company. So I'm wondering if that's taking up valuable keyword space. If it doesn't have anything to do with it. So you've also got the virtual boyfriend over here, and you've got just 14 reviews. Kind of balanced, good game. Wow, I didn't know this app was also there. Loving this app. 1,000 installs. So let's do a Google of this, because this is kind of a new thing. I haven't actually looked at this virtual girlfriend. Is this a niche, or is this something that you've done? See, there's virtual girlfriend online. Oh, wow. Apparently this is a thing. I'm such a rube. I'm such a hayseed. I don't understand how anything works. All right, so, man, I hope I don't get. Okay, yeah, this is a very, very crowded market. I don't know what to say on this one, Rahul. I think it's for this one. I'm really not sure how you would appeal to somebody on this one. That's just because I'm probably not the demographic. So, I mean, how would you do that? So you have on your screenshots here. You have go into virtual reality, Google Cardboard, meet dancing girlfriend, and multiple dance steps in immersive virtual reality, stage set into Milky Way, Galaxy Darkroom. Again, I mean, I think getting it found in that crowded market is going to be the hardest bit. But even then, if somebody comes here, we're talking about what the app actually does. We're talking about multiple dance steps. I mean, nobody's going to go to the virtual girlfriend and say, yeah, but does it have multiple dance steps? Because that's really what I'm looking for. I don't know what they would be looking for, but I don't think that would be the big feature. I think it would be more like focus on loneliness, focus on practicing getting a real girlfriend, focus on that kind of stuff. And again, like I said, I'm probably not the demographic here. So I mean, for the rest of you guys, so is there anything else here that? So if anybody else has something to talk about this, let me know. So what else we have? Go back to. Let me just remove virtual girlfriend, Rahul. Let's see. Let's see. Loving Azur. Also, Wi-Fi Blocker says loving Azur cloud stuff. They're adding IaaS all the time. Yeah, I've used Azur a little bit, mainly for client stuff. So we have one client now we're using Azur for, and it is a good platform. I think it's just one of those. I think I just need to get used to it. I think Azur is. Yeah, Azur is a good platform. But I'm not sure in terms of the cost and everything. Chanel, hey Chanel, how's it going? Future app development is the AR, the augmented reality. I don't know if it is. I mean, so augmented reality is very, very cool. Just like voice is really cool, and everybody says voice is the future. But for me, I can't quite get my head around it. Not like I can't get my head around it like technically, but more like how do I use this? How do I monetize this? How do I do this? I mean, do I, to do, like if we're going to do a voice app and it's triggered by saying, hey Google, I want to talk to app name, then how many apps can you actually fit into that kind of thing where it's going to know who you're talking to, and what kind of things can you actually do through voice, that kind of stuff. So with augmented reality, there's a lot of really good practical applications for it, especially for business. So we were talking once to a company that made sheds or like outdoor structures or something, and we were talking about doing a virtual reality so you could kind of see the shed in their wherever they set it up, and that would be a really good use for that, like a business use for that kind of thing, and even just they're having a game in AR. But I think it's to me it seems more novelty than anything else. But I mean, a good thing. I mean, especially if you use it well, and I could be wrong. So Be Smart says, "Hi Eric, tell us about Flutter. Is Android Studio will dead after Flutter platform, and you advise Android developer to move to Flutter? Thanks." I think if you're an Android Studio developer and you're a Java developer, you should still know Java because you could write. But Flutter is done in Android Studio unless you use. I mean, you can use VS Code, and again, when you going from VS Code to, or there's loads of them out there, I guess, but VS Code and Android Studio are the two that they talk about in the Flutter documentation, I think. So I tried a little bit in VS Code, and it was just the shortcuts that I was like, I'm used to the IntelliJ, JetBrains, Android Studio shortcuts. So that's one of the reasons why I stuck with Android Studio for that one. But I think it would be good to know it because you could do a cross-platform. But I think it depends on the need, right? You're gonna get to the point where it's gonna be like doing a hybrid application. We're gonna think, can this be done in Flutter? If yes, then do it, because then you got the cross-platform. You go to different platforms with it. But if not, then you have to go to native anyway. And so I don't think it's going to replace native Android development, but it's going to be. But actually, it would be nice if it did. But and then it also lowers the barrier to entry. So those of us who spend all that time learning that kind of stuff, it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of people who come in and just learn the easy thing, and they can do just as well as us. So, which is more of a Darwinian way of looking at it. Wi-Fi Blocker says, adding an ad blocker page to a new app for a certain Wi-Fi router. Had a thought regarding your channel. Do you think that an ad blocker app craze 6 to 12 months ago had an impact on AdMob daily revenue? I don't use. See, when I looked at the ad blocker stuff on Android, when that was big in Android, I was never really clear if it was blocking it in apps. It seemed to be mostly done in browser-based applications. So, because I'm not, but because I would imagine, maybe it does interfere with it. But I mean, if that were the case, you could always do your own advertisements within the app. That would be where affiliate links would come in. So, but I don't think so. I hadn't noticed anything from it, but maybe. Wi-Fi so ad blockers are not sure numbers. I think 101% users use ad blockers. Yeah, maybe. I see. For some reason, I don't know how ad blockers work. I haven't really researched it. I assume that if an ad blocker as a Chrome plugin would just watch for HTTP traffic coming from known ad networks and block it. But because an Android app is sandboxed, I don't know if you could do something like that on the entire platform basis. That's the reason why I was wondering. I didn't think it was affecting AdMob, because my application, it should be untouchable by other applications unless I expose something. So even the traffic coming in, somebody shouldn't be able to write an application that looks at all HTTP traffic or HTTPS traffic coming into the platform and be able to block certain things. And that's why. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe they could, but it's creepy if they could. And again, like I said, Wi-Fi blocker. You probably know with your Wi-Fi blocker. You probably know more about how this works than me. Let's see. Libor Skodik says, what companies do you recommend to cooperate with in order to monetize SDKs without ads? I've got a lot of companies who contact me. All right. I got some good ideas here. So, because first of all, when companies contact me and said, we could give you an SDK, you put it into your app, and you don't even have to serve ads, and you'll get this eCPM. And every time I think about that, I think about apps that get pulled from the App Store because they're violating terms and conditions. And even though all of these companies will say, well, we're not, no, we're completely legit with Google. Yeah, we're not violating the terms and conditions. It's like their word against it. And then when you say, can you tell me some other examples of other apps that are using this? And they won't tell you. They will say, well, they kind of don't want to really advertise that kind of stuff. And that makes it seem really dodgy to me, right? So like they'll say, all we need is for you to grant permissions for location and microphone. Why? What are you putting in my application? So I've always said no to those kind of things. However, if you want to not have ads, you could probably do something with a promotional scheme. So it's not necessarily an ad, but maybe integrate other like in movies they have product placements. I'm not saying that would work, and you would probably have to get a significant traffic to your app in order for that to work. But that is a possibility. A few years ago, right before the Spectre movie came out, the James Bond Spectre movie, I contacted Sony Pictures and said I have the top spy app on Android and one of the top ones in iPhone. And would it be possible to promote this movie or something like that? And they contacted me back, and we had a meeting, and then we talked. It said Spectre was too big a brand, we couldn't work with it, but they did, because we had such huge numbers. They did talk about doing something for the film Grimsby, which is Sacha Baron Cohen, Mark Strong's spy comedy movie, and we did a proposal. We had all these mock-ups and everything, but we never went through with it. But it was more of a sponsorship type of thing. So Coca-Cola presents your app or whatever. I mean, that's something to do. And even when I went to one of the AdMob seminars a few years ago, they talked about how when you get the ad revenue from the ad networks like AdMob or whatever, at some point you should be able to graduate up to promotions, so you'll have enough traffic that a company that's specifically into what you do, they might pay you more than just anything. So at one point I was contacting, because with the ear agent, ear spy thing, it was really kind of weird. I contacted just a niche. I mean, I contacted some hearing aid companies. I contacted spy equipment sales companies. And it's funny that I couldn't get anybody to even email me back. And maybe I should have been more assertive and got on the phone and just really pestered them. But in the end, I was like, meh. So, but that's something you could do too. So to monetize the SDK without ads, that's something. And then you also have in-app purchases and stuff too. So I would say if you're going to do that, do something with in-app purchases or subscription, because that's less. At least they know what they're paying for. And it's not, this app is free, and it's not free for nothing. They're monetizing it, and when you can't figure out how they're monetizing it, that's when I get worried about it. Irfan says, Eric, your app's ad revenue is increased in the last few days. Actually, it's gone down in the last couple of days. My revenue, a little bit of increase, and I'm wondering about why. Christmas, New Year, on the way update. My ad revenue went way up on Good Friday, the Thanksgiving weekend, but it's dipped a little. I mean, it's still not bad. It's like, I think yesterday we made 88 pounds through AdMob, so it's still okay, but I haven't seen like a huge increase lately, but I expect it to go up leading up to Christmas. So let's see, Carol VDW. Hey, Carol VDW. Hey, Eric, I started my first job 2 weeks ago coding apps and SPAs as a part of a small company. Thanks for guiding me there with the videos. I still want to make my own app though. Yes, Carol VDW, do not give up on the dream. Use that job, well, for money obviously, but and give them all, give them all, everything. It's an exchange. They are giving you money, and they're giving you experience, and they're giving you and making you better, and you are going to improve and get new skills and everything, and you're going to give them really good work. I always tell this to people when I hire them, and everybody thinks I'm joking or whatever, but I say, my goal is that either you're going to be too expensive for me in a couple of years and you're going to leave, or I want my people to build their personal brand and build up their CVs at the same time they're working for me, because I'm, and hopefully get to the point where I can't afford to hire them anymore, right? I don't want to hold anybody down, because my whole career has been, I work for some place and then I get these skills and I get these opportunities, and they say, we got this project. So I've never worked on that, but I would love to work on that. And you're able to just get in there and work on these things, and then you go and then you change jobs because you have that experience, and you could get paid more someplace else. It feels kind of bad, like, oh, I used their time to learn this new skill, but at the same time, you gave them really good results. Like you gave them, you work really long, hard hours, and it's a good exchange of information. And I love the idea that somebody would work for me, and they're able to grow, and I benefit from them growing, even though at some point they're going to be too expensive for me, unless they're really so good that I'm forced to pay for it. So now, Carol VDW, but keep doing this stuff on your own, and you'll probably get to the point where, like I was, where you're going to work and you're working these hours, but you can't wait to get home to work on the stuff you really want to work on. So let's see. Manly Selling Court says, Overpass Apps, college will cost a lot for a CS degree, but boot camp called Lambda School can teach me iOS dev plus CS plus help portfolio interview practices within 7 months. Cool. At 0% upfront cost. Are you a salesperson? At 0% upfront costs until hired, then 70% of 2 years salary if making $50K minimum. Wait a second. Lambda School, would they take a percentage of your salary for 2 years? I don't, spend 50 pounds and $50 and get yourself a really big book on iOS development, and go to it cover to cover and start coding things, and then start going on to GitHub and looking at other projects done by professional developers, and see what it's like when you work in a structured environment like that. Because if you're coding on your own, you could be sloppy, but if you look at how other people are doing stuff, you can, and you have all the resources to teach this stuff to yourself now. In fact, most developers out there who are coding, like, let's talk about a developer who's been coding for like 10 or 15 or 20 years. They did not learn in a CS degree the technologies they're using right now. They had to learn those as they go, on their own, as they go forward. I don't think it was any secret in the CS degree, in the computer science degree, that said, this is the secret. You won't understand anything else until we tell you this one thing, right? It's just, it is what it is. One of the questions I want to answer in an upcoming video, it was somebody asked me about the processes that they're learning in university, like the management processes for developers, and I felt a bit like cagey about it, because I thought, we do what works, right? We'll do the good things. We don't always do the stuff that everybody says to do. Like, we don't do like we'll do QA testing, we'll do code reviews, but we might not do code development where we have two developers sitting together and working together. We might do unit tests in some cases, but not in every case, because it would slow down everything. So some things work really well depending on the developer, depending on the project, depending on the company, and other things don't, right? So the ultimate goal is to get the software done and make sure it's bug-free and out there, and whatever works to get that there, then it does. And nobody has all the solutions, and especially some university professor working in a university who's never actually done this kind of stuff in the field before. So that's just my bias towards it, but because my degree was in history, so none of my history degree has helped me at all in the careers that I've had since then, or the career that I've had since then. But that's just my but Manly, if you think that's worth doing, go ahead. One of the things about working in those jobs, once you get into those kind of jobs, it forces you to actually do it. And I think a course would do that too, because if you have a book, it sits there. It could sit there and gather dust, right? That's the reality of it. Even if you purchase the course, it'd be like that day you don't feel like doing it. And if you're going to a course and you have assignments you have to get done by a certain time, you're going to do them. If you have a boss that's making you do something, you're going to get it done by a certain time too. So it does keep you moving. At least a little bit of motivation there. Carol VDW says, Eric, question, what's the maximum amount of time you would allocate to make one of your own apps, not for a customer? For me, just because it's always, for me, it'd probably be 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, it wouldn't be very long, because it's the money going out. Right now, I'm in the situation, Carol VDW, where I have people to pay, and I have overheads that I have to make. But like, if it was on my, every so often I think about just, and I haven't done it in a while, but just like I could just let everybody go, right? And I close down Overpass, no more videos, no nothing. I'll just sit at my desk at home, and then I'll just code. So I'll live off the app revenue, and I'll just code stuff as I go, and I could really focus on those kind of things, which is really good for people who could do that. But I know just my personality is that I will code something for maybe a week or two, maybe even 3 weeks, and then something else will come along and I have to go do this other thing and whatever, and then it just sits there as this unfulfilled project that never got finished, right? And whereas if somebody's paying me to do something, of course I have to finish it. If I'm paying somebody to do something, they have to finish it. There's a dependency on another person, and I just find that for me, that's one of those cases. So if I keep it as short as possible, then I know it. In fact, I'm in the situation where I know, like, I will not get up and go to the bathroom because I'll feel like I'll lose my flow and my momentum if I do. Sorry, get up to go to the bathroom because I'll lose my flow. That's the purpose of getting up to go to the bathroom, to have a flow. But no, so I don't want to get up so I lose my momentum if I come back, and I don't want to stop for dinner, and I want to go home, and I wish I could just sit here and code all night sometimes when you get into that state. So let's see. Oh, Manly Celicor, what would you choose? I think, so yeah, just based on what I said, Manly, I would think that the CS degree, I don't know, you know, I think I'm getting to the stage now where I'm thinking, when I hire somebody, I don't really think about the degree, right? But if you have anything, if you don't have anything to rely on, then that's it. I would say code some stuff, put some apps out there, you know, be the, you know, demonstrate what you can do by doing it rather than going to a school where somebody tells you how to do it and basically they say something like I worked in a job once where they would send me on 1 week courses to learn Java and stuff like that, and I would do so I remember what's going on, a 1 week, actually it was a VB6 course. It was a 1 week VB6 course, and we went at the speed of the slowest student, and we covered a fraction of what I could have covered in the same amount of time if I just read through a book, right? It was just, but that's just the way that I work, but I had a certificate, so that was something. So I think it's just the way things are now. I think it's all a big con. But let's see. Sophia hey Sophia, how's it going? Sophia says, hi Eric, after your disappointing experiences with Ionic, are you sure Flutter would be a good idea? Relegating platform functionality to a third party has always bitten me in the ass. So yeah, I think about that sometimes. The only thing that Flutter I like about it is the fact that Google's behind it. Google's behind Android, and you know, it's like, yeah, I kind of think, you know, they're on, yeah, it's the same, so that's something, as opposed to say React Native, which is something else entirely. And the guys over, and I'm still doing a bit of Ionic work this week. This week working on a couple of Ionic projects, some existing code. It's nothing new, and I do like the Ionic platform. It's just, you know, there's I'm trying to think which node version is that in, which dependencies is that using, which when I compile this thing, you know, how do I, you know, which dependency library has changed and that's breaking something, and it's all that dependency stuff that really gets me. But it's also open, so I think people work on it. Although Ionic seems to be kind of, I think they're trying to monetize things, which is good. I think they should monetize. They were a really good platform, and people, and some of the things probably like compiling for different platforms using their Ionic. Was it Ionic Publish service? I can't remember what it is, but I have been looking into that stuff. I think they've done a really good job on that. But I'm always like I see, it is that third party. The one that concerns me the most is Corona, which is the same. Like a lot of our games are in Corona, and I never know how long they're going to be around. You know, so I always think if they go down, then that's like a bunch of code. It's closed source. I think it's closed source. Hopefully, if they ever went out of business, they would make it open source. But it's so far removed from other things. Like React Native has Facebook's backing, so they probably won't close down. But we have Parse which they did just release, or they did close down, but they made it open source before at the time they released it, or sorry, got rid of it. And then you have Corona is more of his own little entity over there. They seem to be getting acquired by company after company after company for a while, and also, if you look for a book on Corona, like the last one I could find is like maybe 2014. It might be 2013. You don't see any. The community seems to be getting smaller and smaller, and that kind of worries me. So yeah, you're right. It is, but Flutter. The reason I think it'll be different is just because it's Google. Now I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and maybe it'll bite me in the ass too. Siddharth says, should I run ads? But oh, sorry. Siddharth says, sorry. Oh, I'm way behind on the question. I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking too long to answer these questions. Let's see. Siddharth says, should I run ads, but as an indie, I can't afford? Oh, yeah. I mean, look, the only thing ads do is get you in front of the people you need to get in front of. So if you can't afford ads, think about how else you can do that. You can do the social media networks for free, but you still have the same thing where you think, how do I get in front of the right people? You can go on search.twitter.com and see who's looking for something that's related to what you have, and then reach out to them that way. So if you go on, so if it's the Siddharth, it's the small one, right? The social. If it's social, then you would think, who's complaining on Twitter about running out of disk space on their phone? You could say, well, use something like social and you'll save a lot of space, that kind of stuff. So there are people out there who are expressing the need through social media, and you could reach out to them, which is a bit spammy, but it's getting in front of the right people. And you could argue about whether or not, if somebody says they need what you have and you have it, isn't it your duty to tell them, hey, I can help you out, or this app can help you out? Not be pushy, but just say that. It's, if they're saying it in a public forum like Twitter or one of the public social medias, then you could. So that's just my opinion. Ajax Nation says, hey Eric, what do you recommend? 16-year-old programmer who just started learning programming using Kotlin because I want to be self-employed. If you want to be self-employed, I think it doesn't matter what you use. Kotlin, I haven't really used Kotlin very much. I mean, I've looked at it and it looks like it's a new language, and we talk Kotlin versus Java Java came out in the late 80s or early 90s, or was it? Yeah, no, Java's been around a long time. So Kotlin is a newer language, so it's got, I would, learn Kotlin. As a 16-year-old programmer, whatever you learn, you're going to get good at it. And the skills you learn using one programming language are going to be easily transferable to another language. The concepts of programming, as opposed to the syntax, are probably the most difficult to learn. But they all kind of fit in certain ways. At one point, I remember I used to say it's all ifs and loops, and it's all if statements and loops and functions at some point. Right? You got variables. You got the operators, you've got functions and encapsulation, and you get a little bit more fancy, you get dependency injections and things like that. But yeah, so I mean, learning one of them, don't stress out about which one to learn. I would say go Kotlin. If you want to be an Android developer, go Kotlin. But again, I still like the Flutter idea, but it's those same concepts. If you learn one, that will transfer to other things. I mean, it won't be super easy, but it's not impossible. I mean, they're all pretty much the same. I once hired somebody who had no computing experience. I thought, I'll just teach him to be a programmer. It was very naive, because I thought, I have a tutorial over here. I learned it in a few days. It was Corona. Right? I learned it in a few days. I'm sure somebody else could come in, and even though they don't have the experience that I have, they could learn it. I'll give them a month, right? So I'll give them a month, and they'll be like just a entry level, and then I'll have somebody who's really inexpensive, but he's also skill up and everything like that. And getting his head around something like functions was something that I thought I understand what a function is, and I couldn't get him out of the spaghetti code mentality. He was like, he wrote something, he said, it's working, and I said, yeah, but it looks really, really bad. I said, if you had a function, then you could keep calling that function over and over again, but he just wasn't getting it. He couldn't understand. In fact, he was getting upset with me because he thought I was being nitpicky, and I thought, dude, you cannot, this is terrible code. And in the end, it didn't work out, and my lesson was learned. So those kind of concepts are the things that you'll learn better just learning any languages, because they do transfer across them. Let's see. Wi-Fi Blocker says, I'm bad for answering the questions for Eric. No, go ahead. Ajax Nation, Eric's video today. Get an app out there as soon as, doesn't matter the quality, but just do it. Yeah, get out there and do it. Don't put an app out there. You know what? Your first app might suck, but at least it's out there. Don't be the person who says, you know, yeah, I've got this idea, or I'm working on something. It's going to be another 6 months. It's going to be perfect. Get something out there, right? And the same thing about, the same thing if you want to do whatever. If you want to do YouTube videos or write a book or whatever, just do it, right? So it's, I talk to a lot of people about the YouTube videos, and we talk about how they say, oh, I could, you know, I'm going to do that one day. And then it's kind of like this, and then months later, I say, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do that one day. And it's like, just, you know, turn the camera on and do it, because whatever you do, you're going to be really bad at it at first, but that's why you do it. That's how you learn, right? You know, nobody ever starts as perfect. Okay, so Vinosaurus says he should add nudity. That's the virtual girlfriend game. Yeah, you know what? Maybe he does have nudity in there, but you can't have it in the screenshots. Let's see. Let's see, I'll show. So Ajax Nation says, oh, here's my biggest failure. Oh, cool. Let's see. So we're going to look at Ajax Nation's app here. What's my age? Oh, cool. Let's see. What's my age? Biggest failure. So this is Ajax Nation's. Look, you know what, Ajax? You got this out there. So, like, don't even, I'm not going to say anything about it, because, you know, like you said, you're 16 years old, you got an app on the App Store, good for you. Do the next one, and then do the next one, and then do the next one, and you'll get better as you go. And you might even come back to this one and say, you know what, I'm going to change that and put some different graphics on it. I'm going to do some different stuff. So I'm not going to say anything about that. So wait a second. So it's just enter the year of your birth, and then and do that. I think that's good. I think that's good, Ajax Nation. Good for you. Let's see. So what do we got next? Rahul Singh says, Eric, you having insight into app development using Python, as I have already made source code for web apps using Python and ML, and I want to use them in apps. I've never used Python. I mean, I know it's like a standard thing, but I've never used it. And I'm not even sure. People have told me that you can use it in mobile app development, but I don't know what frameworks or how that works. So I'm afraid I'm not doing it. So let's see. Ajax Nation says, I'm still new to this and getting lots of errors in Android Studio, which pushed to quit after a month and a half. Don't get pushed to quit. And now I want to go back and find out I can't even write a hello program. Look, we all get those errors where you just like, screw this, man, I'm quitting, right? You just like, I cannot figure out what this thing is, right? And you plug away at it, and you get to that point where you're like, you know what, screw it. I have like certain features that I put in some of my apps where I'm like, I just abandon them after a while because I can't figure out why this thing's not working, right? And I know it's some stray marks somewhere, right? Or something, there's something there, and it's just following the chain of events, and it gets, but just stick with it, because you'll have that, you just have a blockage, and once you get through that blockage, everything gets fun again. Let's see. Rodion Sabbath says, all traffic has to go through the system. If the device is rooted, you can simply edit it. Okay, so that's about the ad blockers. Sidhar says, hey Eric, I want to work with you just for getting experience. Cool. Let's see. Let's see. If the agreements. Okay, so we have Rahul says, Eric, I lose my motivation a lot. Can you give some tips on removing procrastination and increase motivation? Look, the hardest bit is starting, right? Some writers will say this. They say they don't feel like writing, so they force themselves to write. If you don't feel like working on a project, just force yourself to do it. Say, I'm going to work the next half hour on this project, and then once you get into it, you get into the flow and things start getting fun. But if you have this thing where you're looking at it thinking, I just can't be bothered to do this today, then you're not going to do it, and it's that hard bit. I once read this book by Twyla Tharp, I think her name is. I don't know if I have a book in the office, but she was taught. She's like a ballet instructor. It was something on It was a book on creativity, I think, and she was talking about how when she would get up in the morning, she would go to the gym every day, but her goal was not to go to the gym every day. Her goal was to put on her gym clothes and get in a taxi, because she knew once she did that, she's going to go to the gym, right? So it's like, think about, your goal is not to work the next 6 hours on this project. Your goal is to work the next half hour on this project. And then once you get into it, you get into the flow of it, you start doing that. And you might be like me sometimes, where I'll be like, screw this, I can't figure out, like, this thing's not working. I'll just get up and I was like, I'll just work on this tomorrow. And I get up and I go to the bathroom or whatever, walk the halls, and then I'm thinking about that problem again. I'm thinking about it, and then I get that idea. It's amazing how often it happens in the bathroom. I think the urine is dumbing me down or something. So once I get rid of it, but so I'll be in the bathroom and I'll be like, hang on a second. It's probably, then I come back and I get back into it. And even if it's not that thing, it just gets me back, back into the thing. So motivation is always hard. The hard bit is starting, though. Let's see what we got. Wi-Fi blocker says regarding trying to get noobs to program is so hard. If they want it bad enough, they learn off the job. Yeah, that's it. Learning off the job. It's your career. It's not anybody else's job to teach you anything. If you hand over your education and your career to somebody else, like an employer, shame on you. You got to be market resist. Well, you got to be. I once worked with somebody where it was my first computer job, and they sent me on they said I was learning something. I was getting books on my own, and I was reading about the Microsoft. I was reading about Visual Basic, and he was saying. He called me and said, I noticed you've been reading these Visual Basics on to and from work. I want you to learn Java instead, right? Now, I remember thinking at the time, I was reading it to and from work. It had nothing to do with him, and he kind of thought because he was the boss and because I was working for them, they could just set the course of my education. And in a way they can, but that depends. If it's during their hours, yeah, they could say whatever they want me to learn. But outside of hours, I have to learn what I want to learn, and also thinking about what would make me more money in the future and what can I do to do better projects. So Shoaib Ali says, in my AdMob report, from approximately 50% of countries have impressions. In even a few cases I have clicks. Also 0 impressions, RPM estimated. Please guide why. I'm not entirely sure why, but I think a lot of people have been complaining about match rates lately, and I think we just having so many apps out there that maybe they don't have enough to look at all those. Rifat says, Eric, ever get kicked out of a job or contract? How did you cope with it? No, we talked about this a few weeks when you were here, Rifat. You getting fired from a job. I've never been fired from a job. I've never lost a contract because of that. And you know why? It's not thing I'm proud of. It's because I'm a yes man. Like, one of the reasons I was good at a contractor, because when they say something, I might argue, say, we think we should move this button over here. We think we should do this over there. We should work in this technology. And I would say, I don't think that's a good idea. And they go, well, that's what we're going to do. And I go, okay. And then I just do it. Right. And I do it. I'm not happy about it. And, it's like if I was a courageous person, I would say, absolutely not. This is my professional reputation at stake. But I'll just do it anyway. So it's like, so I was really good. Like, they would never get rid of me. If I asked for a raise, I would get it. Like, the nice thing about being a contractor is that contracts keep coming up for renewal, and that's the perfect time to renegotiate. But I was kind of like just a yes man, which is, like I said, not something as a man, not something that I'm proud of. Let's see. Cliggan says here, Eric, please review my app. So let's have a look at another one. I hope this isn't getting tedious. I got a comment a few months. Got a comment. All right, Cliggan. Thank you for this. All right, so this is Cliggan Braganza's app here. I'm trying hard to get an audience for the UK and the USA. All right, so we've got easy gym exercises app and app DNA. I just brought it up and I saw all the skin. So we've got abs exercises, leg workouts, weight loss. So you've got the screenshots here, and you've got the doctor saying what they are. I would think the icon is clip art, or it's a stock image, and I don't know if that's too. I don't know if I like it. So easy gym exercises. Isn't this like a really crowded market? Let's see. Want to do some gym exercises? Want to get those lean muscles? Want to do some easy home workouts? Well, then these gym exercises will get you on the right path. All right. So we've got. I'm confused about these screenshots. So the app DNA, we got the pictures of people, which is cool, but it's not necessarily showing the application what it does. So I think using stock images is a good idea, just like, but I would say having it rather the phone in the front, and then almost like in the background you have other stuff. Like let's just, to give you an idea what I mean, I'm gonna go to one of my own pages, which is earspyapp.com. So to give you an idea of, like, look at this. So this one is, we have stock image in the back, we have the phone in the front. Something like that might be good, where you have a gym in the background and you have, you know, have that, have your phone, have your application in the front, and something on there to say, you know, take the difficulty out of going to the gym or whatever. But again, it's such a crowded market. I'm wondering how you could even do that. I've had maybe half a dozen prospects contact me about gym apps, and every time I think that's they're really useful, but I'm wondering how can you differentiate yourself on that. But that's just me. If anybody else has anything to talk about that, you know, let me know. So let's see. Okay, so Sophia, so this goes back to Ajax Nation. Sophia says to use Java because Google is wavering on first-class languages. That's an interesting take on it. I haven't even thought about that. Wi-Fi Blocker says Azur has loads of stuff on Python. Cool. Sophia says, in case I missed next week's podcast, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to do one next week because of all the holidays and everything. In fact, I'm not sure if we're going to do any videos over the holiday period. So it's kind of one of these things, thinking about, do we just, I'm considering like just going really crazy and filming a whole bunch of videos in advance next week, but then, you know, I don't want to do videos too far in advance, because I kind of think, what would happen? Like, what if something happened, like we were attacked by aliens, and then I put out a video like a week later because I pre-recorded it. I'm just talking about something like, why didn't you mention the aliens, Eric? So let's see. Shoaib Ali says, please review my app. Here we go. Let's have a look at this one. Let's have a look at Shoaib's app here. So this one's called GPS Route Finder, Maps, Drive, Directions, Map Traffic. You have 416 reviews, which looks good. You're using the stock images, which I think looks really good. Beautiful UI dashboard pattern. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good selling point of it, but I think it'd be more the ease of use than that. History log, recheck your. So again, we go to the keywords first. You know, how was it? GPS, route finder, maps, drive, directions, map, traffic. It looks like there's, hang on a second. GPS, route finder, maps, drive, directions, map, traffic. That's like just independent keywords. You should probably bring them together with a few ands and ors. But let's see, Medina apps. So you're getting some reviews. Excellent GPS tool, easy to find the best routes, and other cool stuff like features. So if these are, you're getting some good reviews here. If they're genuine reviews, which I'm assuming they're genuine reviews, I would start taking some of these out and using them in social media posts too. Because if you have a really good review, you can use those. I mean, it's in a public forum. People have said it, so you can use those in social media. So to give you an idea, let's have a look at our. This is a virtual girlfriend Instagram Overpass Apps. Let's see. So what we do is we have a lot of stuff goes out. So we get like really good reviews that could go into social media posts here too. So we've got awesome app to have, Google Play review. So we're taking these things, and if we have something that's really, really good, we'll use it there. You can't use it in the description. So you can't, as part of the Google Play terms, you can't use reviews in the description, but we do use it in other places, so we can use those. So if you do have really good reviews, that's something to think about there too. So hopefully that's helpful. Let's see. What we got? Abhay Puptani says, you look too tired. Tired? Do I look tired? It's been a long week. But thanks. Sophia said, then you have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful 2019. You too, Sophia. And Eric, make some podcast videos. Invite some of your peers to exchange ideas. Yeah, we need to do more in terms of that kind of stuff, Rahul. Sorry, let me get this easy gym exercises off the thing. Yeah, we have to do more of that kind of stuff, Rahul. So that's cool. So I think we have. Oh, No, we haven't done. Okay, one more app to look at here, which is Shivam's, and that will be the last one, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's see, Shivam's app here, which is called Stay Fit. Oh, it's like the same. So Shivam, is this So let's go back to this. Shivam, same kind of thing. Although I do like your screenshots. I think the screenshots look really good. Stay Fit, fitness gym trainer, and coach. Cool. So you've got 2 reviews. You've got again, to me, I think an icon shouldn't have an actual image on it, but maybe that's just me. I know I've seen them a lot, and I'd be interested. I would do a Google Play experiment with that, and do another one which is more like which is more cartoony or more something else. Don't do like a dumbbell or something, because I'm sure everybody else does it. So if we do a search, let's do a search just to find out. Let's do a search on gym trainer. Now, what do we assume all the icons are going to look like? Well, here we go. We've got gym trainer. We got lots of lots of images here. So we got these ones that look more like drawings, which I think these kind of look better. This looks kind of cool. This I think looks like a much nicer one. But again, what you like, it doesn't matter. What works. So I would test that out. So do something where you have that is that one? Is this one? Where you have that image, but also try a few different ones just to see if you're not getting the traffic through, if it's showing up in the keyword. So let's do. We haven't been looking at. Since somebody says I look tired, I will wrap this thing up. Let's see. So let's have a look at App Annie, because we haven't had a look at App Annie today. So we'll have a look at just the keywords on it. I know I haven't looked at it on the other ones, so sorry about that. Let's do this. Stay Fit. So it's also a very popular name here. Stay Fit. Neat developers. Okay, it's not helping us. Let's do actually, it might not actually be on. Well, we won't look at the Google Play. It might not be on App Annie just yet. So let's go back to that, and cool. So I think we've answered. Let's see what we got. So Shivam. Oh, so Shivam. Yeah, I think that, like I said, I think you should do try some different icons on that one. And my whole thing about the fitness apps is that there's just so many of them, and I'm worried about that. Although I suppose the time to get your fitness app out there would be before New Year, because that's when everybody's going to be looking for that kind of stuff. So that, I suppose, that from a seasonal point of view. Shoaib Ali says Play Store gives more earnings or Apple more earnings. Play Store does for me, but that's because I guess get more downloads. I think on a per user basis it's Apple for me. Wi-Fi Blocker says, yeah, film loads, Eric. Cram them in the next couple of days. Need 2 to 5 minute Eric daily videos over Crimbo. You said Crimbo. Motivational ones for the Christmas blues, but definitely take time off in 2 weeks. Yeah, I might. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Part of it is Wi-Fi blockers. I don't want to lose the. I'm worried about the YouTube algorithm. Like, will it penalize me if we miss too many days off or whatever? But have a Merry Christmas to everybody, and but we'll still do the videos. We might do the live stream next week, but it depends, because we're getting to that crunch time where it's like done hardly any shopping. The tree's not up. I went and picked up the tree today. It's sitting in my backyard. I need to go home and find the stand and find all the decorations and put that up tonight. Okay. So Shivam, we're gonna do one more thing. Let's see. Let me just go back and look at this one. Was it Stay Fit? Gym trainer coach.free. Screen share. Is this it? No, sorry. No, I'm not finding it there. So yeah, sorry Shivam. We'll have to look at this. I just can't seem to find that one on there. I think. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Shoaib Ali, what do you think about videos on the Google Play Store? they're a good idea. I mean, think about it from a user point of view. I don't know if it helps in the rankings, but from a user point of view, that's what they're going to want to see. They want to see how the app is used. So anyway, so that is it. Wi-Fi blocker says MyFitnessPal, and that's it. I'm not answering any more questions. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming to the live stream this week. Well, maybe we'll do one next week. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm trying to do some more of the YouTube stories, but I keep forgetting to do them. And also, I don't want to be really frivolous where I do like 5 a day, where I say, here's me sitting on the toilet, here's me, whatever, going to get milk. I don't want to do anything like that. So, but well, I'll try to at least let you guys know through the YouTube stories whether or not we're gonna do a live stream this next week. But it depends on how crammed I am for getting shopping done. And it is pizza time. It's pizza time. So I'm gonna head off. Everybody have a fantastic week. Thanks so much for coming to the live stream. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on the daily video, and maybe next week on the live stream. If not next week, it'll be next year. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys again later. Bye.
Taking this blindfold off to see what this life's all about. Through my virtues to the